The time for talk has passed. The Lord's work must be done.
Okay, so this video has topics pedophilia, possible zoophilia, incest, rape, and a bunch of other shit that could spark PTSD into people. So I highly suggest you don't watch this video, alright? If you have PTSD triggers of those topics. Or just have the heads up that we do talk about that. Whichever floats your boat. So your mental health is more important than a view on my video. So if any of that triggers you, just click off because I'm ripping off the band-aid and I'm going full force into it. So enjoy the video. Chance Wilkins, also known as Cyraxx, is a 35-year-old mentally ill pedophile who is a horror cow. Cyraxx has gained notoriety by his public freakouts and absurd behavior. Cyraxx has anger management issues and refuses to change, making him a perfect target for trolling. Cyraxx has had many other different usernames like DJ Shadowblade or Cyraxx and DJ Otaku, just to name a few. With many of name changes, Cyraxx has a bunch of different hobbies and passions he has done. Some of these include e-racing, music, dancing, and filmmaking. Surprisingly, or unsurprisingly, he hasn't seen any sort of improvement or any success in any of these fields. Cyraxx has done a bunch of things, like harassing a woman to the point she faked her suicide, causing him to get kicked out of the Juggalo community. He also shoved a stylus up his ass, which made Cyraxx one of the main 6 lolcows out there in the world. While he has done some other stuff, we will go into chronological order starting with his early days, aka his childhood. I would like to note that most of the information in this video is from the Cyraxx Wiki, and there wasn't much documented evidence listed on the Wiki, so take some of this stuff with a grain of salt. Also, I'm unable to download the videos from Rumble, so if there's evidence of it, and it's on Rumble, I can't download it. I would say Rumble's worse than YouTube because of this shit. Cyraxx was the second child of Connie Lobdell and Rupert Smith in Bumfuck, Alaska on September 20th, 1990. His original name was Patrick Smith. Cyraxx, when he was born, had a bunch of health conditions that include, but not limited to, being underweight, an undeveloped lung, scoliosis, only having one kidney, and a bunch of other shit. These complications were probably a result of him being born prematurely, only being born 26 weeks into the pregnancy. People claim that it was 16 weeks into the pregnancy, but that's literally impossible. Connie was accused of abusing drugs and alcohol during her pregnancy with Cyraxx, but according to Connie's stepfather, recalls that Connie isn't a drinker. Cyraxx doesn't show the same traits that someone with fetal alcohol syndrome disorder would have. It's most likely that Connie was abusing a different kind of drug that didn't show signs of fetal alcohol spectrum disorder, causing his premature birth. Cyraxx's brother was taken away by Alaska's CPS before Cyraxx was born. When Cyraxx was born, Alaska's CPS immediately took him away from his mother. It is unknown why he was taken away, but one of the two reasons could be she was severely disabled. Well, it's actually a proven fact. And another reason that it was is that she was abusing drugs. He was given to his grandmother, Sally Wilkins, and relocated to somewhere around Atlanta. Sally was married to a man named Gordon Wilkins at the time of adopting Cyraxx, which soon Cyraxx changed his name to Chance Wilkins. Cyraxx, at the age of 4, his father Rupert Smith was arrested for raping a 14-year-old on a bike path. This case was called State vs. Smith, and the father admitted to everything. He called the police station and said the police sketch looked like him, leading to the police getting an interview with him, and that's where he admit everything. This just proves the stupidity runs through Cyraxx's fucking family. This rape by Rupert is just another case of abuse in the family, because Cyraxx's actual grandfather, William Smith, not Gordon Wilkins, married Sally when she was only 14 years old. Gordon divorced Sally partially because of the stress of adopting Cyraxx in the first place, since he didn't want children at all. Soon after arriving in Atlanta, Sally and her family moved to Lake Wales, Florida in 2002, after learning her ex-husband Gordon moved there with the pretext that he moved there. She claimed that she moved there so that Cyraxx would be, quote, closer to his father. She purposely manipulated Cyraxx into believing that Gordon was his actual father for reasons we still don't fucking know. I would like to mention that Connie, Cyraxx's mother, died in a house fire when Cyraxx just turned 17 on his birthday. This isn't that important to the story, just a thing that helped destroy what little mental state he had at the time. After a while, Cyraxx William, who is one of Sally's sons in a previous marriage, and Sally moved to Akron, Ohio in around 2008 to 2009, around the time Cyraxx turned 18 years old. He went to a local high school and made a few friends who introduced him to the hobbies of music and dancing. Cyraxx did poorly at school because of his mental disabilities, but there's no proof that he was in the special needs class or any disability services. On February 14th, 2012, an incident happened where he would have hitchhiked and walked from Ohio to Kansas to visit a girl who turned out to be a catfish. Sally said rightfully that this was a stupid idea, causing Cyraxx to baby rage and to physically attack his grandmother when she turned her back. Cyraxx got arrested, charged, and was in jail for 30 days after a reducement in charges and forced therapy. Another thing that happened around the same time is that he raped one of his only few friends, which people who focus on Cyraxx has called Blind Billy. Cyraxx has had absolutely zero repercussions for raping his quote-unquote friend. After a while of this rape, Cyraxx jumped off the roof of the school. Not because if he felt fucking guilty, no. What are you, fucking retarded? It was because he was dared to do it, and he ended up breaking his arm. After jumping off the roof, Cyraxx filled out a false police report about him getting pushed off the roof of the building after recovering, which probably might have been one of the reasons why he got expelled from school. If this story was true, you would have expected him to be angry about almost being murdered. But no, he was glad about this, and he endowed with magic creativity with superpowers via Seventh Syndrome, even though that's not what fucking happened. Servant Syndrome is a thing that happens when someone is skilled in one domain, like art, science, math, to where it collides with some sort of social or intellectual condition. This usually happens in people who have autism or had a brain injury, usually affecting women more than men. It only affects 1 of a million people. Strange, isn't it? This newfound magical superhero creativity powers awaken in him now gave him passion and talent in arts, game development, music, and filmmaking. Even though he didn't get any brain damage in the impact of the fall, or did he have any of the skills before the fall, making the ability of Savant Syndrome almost impossible to have occurred. Around 2014, his aunt and whoever the fuck Cat is both claimed that Cyraxx was expelled for the previous mentioned false police report, while the people in the community claimed that it was the fact that he passed the legal age limit for high school in Ohio, which is 22 years old. While the false police report might be the most likely reason, he probably wouldn't have been denied access to classes the following school year. Dude, he failed high school. Holy shit, that is retarded. Oh my god. Alright, welcome to 2012. Obama was elected for a second term, everybody thought the world was gonna end, and Sandy Hook happened. Now, let's see what happened with Cyraxx during this year. The first ever recorded presence of Cyraxx was on YouTube under the channel Chance Wilkins on April 2nd, 2012. It's a video of other people skateboarding to music he's made. The video is called, quote, "It's So Delicious Demo DJ Shadowblade featuring the Possessed One." And it was uploaded 1 day after the channel's creation. This video was god fucking awful, and for him to call himself an artist is a stain to the art of music in general. The sources were too nice about this shit, and I can assure you, it is fucking awful. Pot awful, even.
The smell of it is so potent, but it's just so delicious.
Party, 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 party.
The smell of it is, the smell of it is, the smell of it is, the smell of it is so potent, but it's just so delicious.
So delicious is my edible words that I can speak, coming from my hidden scriptures, and I have to spit it again for incantations in your muscle. I can level it, friend. I know that you really getting mad every day, going to working so hard, but never really getting.
At this time, Cyraxx had two different names that he stolen from actual musicians, which were, of course, Cyraxx and DJ Shadowblade. An artist Pity signed Cyraxx onto his label named Killer Clown Sounds, and of course, this was ran by Juggalos. Cyraxx also went through other names like Virus, Cyraxx, and DJ Otaku. These were either Juggalo or anime related. The next known videos were a two-part series of personal vlogs where he talked about Killer Clown Sounds, his personal life, how new juggalos think they could barge in and insist, quote, whatever rules they want, and his room. A notable thing from these videos is that he actually put thought and respect into his voice and how he acted in these previous videos, unlike his new shit. Cyraxx's first ever music video that he produced by himself without any help is worse than the first fucking music video I showed you previously. This video was released on July 1st of 2012, and now I know exactly why Jesus turned his middle name to fucking.
Do you hear their voices? Do you hear their cries? Do you know they're here with me, watching you through my eyes? Do you hear their voices? Do you hear their cries? Do you know they're here with me, watching me through my eyes?
To finish off 2012, we have a video of Cyraxx uploading a video called, quote, Chester Bennington Scream, released on July 7th, 2012, which is just a video of him trying to scream for 30 seconds straight. And yes, he is wearing lipstick and a choker in this. This is just proof that Cyraxx is a trans heart wife. Welcome to 2013. The election of Pope Francis happened, my country had a recession, and the Boston Marathon bombing happened. This section about Cyraxx is short because not much was noted during 2013 with him. Cyraxx at the time would announce that he was leaving the Juggalo lifestyle alongside Heather, who is his first ever ex-girlfriend of Cyraxx from October 2012 to April of 2013. They claimed that they weren't enjoying the lifestyle. Wait, Juggalos is a lifestyle? I thought it was a fucking fandom. In February of 2013, Cyraxx and Heather would make an apology video to Eric after he threw his record label's dog tags into Lake Summit. No one knows why they did this, but Cyraxx claimed that Sally told them to do it because they were angry over something. Probably the fact Eric got mad at the two of them for leaving the Juggalo lifestyle. Why someone would get angry about leaving the lifestyle is confusing to me. So, at some undisclosed time before March of 2013, Cyraxx made a video about his drama with someone named Darren, who was harassing a woman named Lisa Johnson. He enacted his Goblin Rage mode because of this.
What up, Facebook? It's your boy DJ Shadowmaster, aka Chance. And we got a little situation. This asshole on Facebook named Aaron is messing with my little sister, Lisa Johnson, and talking all this crap and shit. Well, this guy seems to think I'm hiding behind words, but I'm not. You hear that, Aaron? I'm not hiding behind anything, little man. You want a little man? Look at you. You're nothing but a punk-ass baby, hiding behind his own damn words, who's too afraid to stand up to me like a real man. You're just pissed off because you can't face me like a real man. And yes, I'm calling your ass out. So you want to bring it? Here I am. I ain't hiding from nobody. I ain't hiding behind any words. And unlike you, I can't back my words up.
The last dated activity from 2013 was the first day of March, where he was listening to classical music.
What's up, guys? It's Chance. I know I've not done a live stream on here in some time, if ever. So I figured why not start things off the right way by doing some classical composition work for you guys. Let's go on.
There are no other archives of this, but it would be the last year of Cyraxx being in high school before getting kicked out. He is 23 years old at the time of these videos. How the fuck do you get held back from high school until you're 23 and somehow not pass? What the fuck? Welcome to 2014, where Ebola ran rampant in West Africa, Russia annexed Crimea, and the rise of ISIS in the Middle East. There isn't much that happened with Cyraxx that was documented, less than 2013 if you can believe that. Cyraxx decided to flat out steal a Marine's post in February of 2014, using that as a ploy to get shares and likes on Facebook. Goblin behavior at its best. He also made a post standing with, quote, band of brothers dealing with PTSD, which is another play for shares and likes. In May 6 of 2014, Cyraxx made a post about a video game he was creating called Possess Pain that was a hybrid between Resident Evil, Call of Duty, and Halo. It was supposed to be a game series, but was never made, if there was even a game to begin with. Cyraxx finally did something I agree with, although in the wrong way. 14 days after the quote-unquote video game was released, he was asking Obama to repeal the zero-tolerance gun laws, when, in reality, Obama made the duty to retreat laws in 2014. The duty to retreat laws is basically a mugger's dream, where the homeowner or person who owns the property isn't allowed to fight for their things or property unless the government deems it a necessary action. The owner is supposed to escape and let the mugger take their stuff instead of fighting for their things or home. No wonder the NRA and the GOA hate the Democrat Party. I hate them too. Welcome to 2015, where leaders from Russia, Ukraine, Germany, and France agreed on a ceasefire, even though both sides decided to fight 15 minutes later. Terrorist attacks on Paris, and there's too many immigrants in Europe. This part is really short, so there's only like 2 paragraphs because there's so little. Cyraxx got beaten and slammed onto a stop sign by a teenager. He got banned off of World of Warcraft. He gets a new girlfriend named May, and Cyraxx grifts on another person's death by making a car with the dude's name on it, and making a new Facebook account called Z&C Customs. The dude's name was Zach Hewson, and he was murdered by someone with a criminal past. Welcome to 2016. Donald Trump got elected as the new president of the United States. The United Kingdom left the European Union, and we all protested about a $1 million bank heist that showed the corruption in our country. This year, Cyraxx made a new record label called Metal Militia, and started hosting his own band called Blackfire Lighthouse, which was basically just a recording of the Flash game Punk-O-Matic. Cyraxx started making mugging games, which lead to a loss of friendship with a girl to a man named Chuck Segal, which turns out later that he was at least a crossdresser, and not a good one at that. I don't have an Instagram, so I don't have much imagery to go through. Turns out that Chuck was Cyraxx's first troll in A-Logger. as he started to troll and claim that he hacked Cyraxx. He also claimed that he caught Cyraxx talking to a 16-year-old, and that's why he was harassing him. But he wouldn't know this unless he started harassing him and hacked him before finding this out. Just remember, this dude unironically believes that he is a literal vampire, and he also has allegations of his own. Cyraxx would also release a book called Soul Senses, which he claimed was for family and friends. But the book lacked any kind of quality and pretty much was stolen from another book an author made with a misspelled title. So that should tell you the quality of the book he quote-unquote made. Cyraxx also made an album called Urban Warfare, which also ended a relationship with someone unknown. Welcome to 2017, where the Me Too movement started. The Las Vegas shooting happened, and the pro-European party in my country had a bunch of key members arrested for corruption. Cyraxx in this year started to actively engage in filmmaking around February, creating experimental videos. These videos were about him fighting a clone of himself or saying slurs repeatedly. Mind you, these videos are really badly edited or even produced. This isn't Cold Blood Studios' level of editing or production quality. Him using slurs constantly could be just another explanation why he got kicked out of high school. In 2017, Cyraxx got his second ever troll named Chuckula, who could be the same person as the vampire freak who cross-dressed as a goth tween. You know, the Chuck Seagal guy. The two of them fought for a while before eventually losing interest in each other. In July of 2017, Cyraxx made videos about how greedy record labels are. These videos would keep up until 2018, making the same point over and over and over again with every single video he made about this topic. He claimed that record companies didn't hire him because of his disability, instead of the fact that his music talents are on the same level as Chris Chan. He disregards the fact that the only reason he got into Eric's record company is because he felt bad for Cyraxx and his disability. Also in July, Cyraxx got another girlfriend named Amy, who he performed a meadow show for her in August, which she seemed to enjoy somehow. Cyraxx eventually cheated on her because you have to expect this shit from him by now, with a catfish named Tiffany. The person who controlled Tiffany's account eventually got arrested for hacking crimes, which is why no one could find out the person behind the account and prove their identity. In August, Cyraxx also claimed that Jason David Frank, who is the actor of the Green Power Ranger, assaulted him at a Comic-Con event. He would claim in this video, but later contradict his claims after Jason's death, showing a favorable opinion about him. In December, Cyraxx attempted to sell tickets to an online show that never took place, which was probably a ploy for Cyraxx to scam people out of money. He used a ticketing website to help sell the tickets, but was eventually removed and banned from the platform. Welcome to 2018, where California burst into flames, the FIFA World Cup happened in Russia, and the Moldovan Court of Appeal invalidated the Kishinev mayor election, causing mass protest. Cyraxx in this year made a bunch of music videos, made dance videos, and he shrunk in size from 5'3" to 5'2". Cyraxx was introduced to a romantic interest by the name of Kendall Smith in late 2018, who didn't share the same feelings that Cyraxx had for her. When Cyraxx confessed his love for her, she immediately cut contact with him afterwards. Kendall would start accusing Cyraxx of stalking, harassing, and doxing her to the point where Kendall had to pretend of committing suicide so that Cyraxx would shut the fuck up, fuck off, and leave her alone for good. Cyraxx claimed to not have any involvement in her death, even though he did cause the quote-unquote suicide to happen.
Alright, y'all. So apparently, certain people have a problem with me using Kendall's name after she had unfortunately attempted suicide a couple weeks ago. And now apparently Kendall's parents are supposedly gonna try to, do something about it, like press charges on me, saying that I can't speak her name and this and that and blah blah blah. Well, guess what I have to say to that? Fuck you. It's a free world. freedom of speech, First Amendment.
The Juggalos believed that Candle actually committed suicide, which made the Juggalos turn onto Cyraxx, which started the beginning of a newfound trolling on Cyraxx, which continues to this day. Cyraxx, after forcing a girl to fake commit suicide just for him to fuck off, started getting hate from the Juggalo community, especially the Akron Juggalo scene. Was once a local drama turned into one of the first ever organized trolls onto Cyraxx after trolls noticed that Cyraxx was easy to manipulate and how his reaction are Golden Ticket Awards level of fun. Some of Cyraxx's classical trolls like MusicBizMarty, Jamie Nicole, or Schmecklecat, I included the dude's name because the name is funny as fuck. At the time, Cyraxx somehow got a new girlfriend named Heather K. Different Heather from earlier in the video. Heather K is not a good person at all. She abandoned her children and wife just to fuck Cyraxx for some reason we still don't understand. Most videos about Heather K were extremely negative to where Cyraxx almost punched her and when she gagged when kissing him. I'm unable to get the punch video even after multiple downloading video sites.
That was solid, babe.
Call me again and watch what happens.
Hey, nice work, babe. Yeah, let's try that again, shall we?
Let's see if they call again.
And
He said, got him. Hold on.
nice work, babe.
See if we can get this fucker to call back.
No, don't. I already told him.
He said, I think we got disconnected. Okay, call back.
The first known organized troll on Cyraxx was from, you guessed it, the Juggalos, with a folk record company called Bloodshot Records. No one really knows much about this record company, but it was most likely made for the only purpose to troll Cyraxx due to his belief of having co-founded the record company. The record company soon faded before October of 2019 when founding members of the company were openly mocking Cyraxx with him around. In October of 2019, MusicBizMarty was introduced as Cyraxx from the Juggalos, probably a Juggalo named the Boy Blue 1982 due to the drama with Candle. At the beginning, Marty was just watching the whole thing, not getting involved. He mostly contacted Cyraxx through Jamie Nicole's streams. It wasn't until November where Cyraxx's desperation to get signed by a record company after getting dropped by Bloodshot Records allowed Marty to start trolling Cyraxx. Marty and Brooklyn Menace contacted Cyraxx under two different record labels, Ram Ranch owned by Marty and Bender Boys owned by Brooklyn. Both trolls competed to get Cyraxx to sign him onto their folk record label first. Cyraxx would choose Bender Boys due to the fact that Ram Ranch wanted to make merch mocking Cyraxx. Cyraxx quickly made a video gloating about getting signed in early November. Cyraxx was immediately dropped from Bender Boys for his music underperforming and was sold to Ram Ranch, which caused Cyraxx to crash out. Soon after getting signed to Ram Ranch, Cyraxx found out that the merch page for Ram Ranch was out and cried about finding it out, even though only the website was made for it. Of course, trolls bullied him for it. If Cyraxx wasn't a pedophile and a rapist, I would feel a slight bit of empathy for him.
I don't understand why you're doing this. I don't know your reasoning. I don't know why you can't just leave me and my girl alone. Why? Why can't you leave us alone? You doing this sick shit? This is sickening. You think what you're doing is right, but it's not. You are a sick man.
Some notable things that's been happening is that Jamie Nicole started appearing more. Cyraxx and one of his trolls, Suplex City, started a boxing match with him losing. Cyraxx gets quizzed on his Juggalo War and stuff, and Cyraxx tries to defend him saying the N-word. Yes, the dreaded N-word. How dare somebody say that word? Cyraxx, on February 5th, 2020, made a diss track on Young Foxx titled Fox Hunt. Why Cyraxx did this is unclear, but the leading theory the community shares is that Young Foxx was a part of the Juggalo community that Cyraxx was beefing with at the time. The day after this diss track was released, Young Foxx and Cyraxx had a rap battle on Jamie Nicole's livestream, where the two of them would battle back and forth for multiple days straight. After Cyraxx made his final diss on the livestream, Young Foxx would release his first song on Cyraxx. Cyraxx would mysteriously disappear after the diss track was made, and another account named Shadowkai would appear, defending Cyraxx from the people harassing him. If you haven't figured this out by now, Shadowkai was just Cyraxx with a shitty voice changer, which just made his voice lower.
You're gonna get burnt. And that's what it feels like y'all are doing to him. You guys are attacking him, you guys are antagonizing him, and you guys are pushing him to the point to where he snaps. And that's not his fault. That's on y'all, man. Y'all need to grow up and get a life. Stop attacking people when y'all ain't any better. Y'all are no better.
He genuinely believes that everyone would fall for it, thinking that we are just as stupid as him. The best part is that the voice changer stopped working for him after 4 minutes of talking. After this Shadowkai nonsense, Young Foxx distanced himself from Cyraxx entirely.
What up, man? It's your boy Cyraxx. What's up, guys? Got my mic ways back here playing Naruto 2 Boruto, which is a new game up on Xbox. Well, not that new, but y'all know what I mean. But, a lot of y'all seem to think that I'm this Shadowkai dude when I'm really not. He is not me. I am not him. Like, this is a whole different person. I do not know this guy. He is not me. We do not know each other. I actually found him through a friend of mine who just found this guy. He just started up his YouTube channel today, who not only fired back against everybody that's attacked me, but he also fired back at the little douchebag Tyler, who's been running his mouth, talking a whole bunch of mess up on his channel and stuff. So yeah, peace, y'all.
Way after the Young Foxx War, Heatherkai broke up with Cyraxx in May of 2020. As of that day, Cyraxx made about 5 videos announcing that him and Heather were breaking up, and that she never cared for him at all. There was a shit ton of abuse between the two of them that was captured in many videos before this breakup. Cyraxx decided to take it a whole step further to show how severe this abuse was, as he threatened to stab himself in the stomach with a fucking kitchen knife. Knowing the fact that Cyraxx suicide baits constantly, this was most likely an attempt to emotionally manipulate Heatherkai into staying with him. Around June of 2020, Cyraxx decided to move his entire room all the way into the attic, pretty much cementing the Goblin status permanently. He also made a video where he was bragging about his finances, his business income, and how he was supporting his family, which is entirely false. He is, and was, unemployed by choice. He makes no money with the trolling stuff like Chris Chan does, and he's literally rotten as we speak. His teeth rival the Boglins, for fuck's sake. Cyraxx would start making videos of shadowboxing, doing martial arts, and working out in the basement. He would flex his bowling pin muscles with a monk-style haircut for everyone to see. On August 8, 2020, Cyraxx made the infamous Hey Tyler livestream where he crashes out by saying boring and vanilla insults and saying Hey Tyler over 30 times in a row. This all happened because Tyler taunted Cyraxx and actually started giving actual insults to him. Shortly after this stream, Jamie Nicole died. God bless her soul. In November of 2020, Cyraxx met a girl by the name of Kaitlyn, who unironically was in love with him, who he cheated on within days with a catfish by the name of Jasmine, who was run by Marty, so you know. As Marty went to confront Cyraxx about his actions, Cyraxx started a line of homophobic and racist slurs, because of course he would. Cyraxx, after the livestream, would start to claim that Marty murdered a sex worker just to divert attention from him. Cyraxx would believe that Kaitlyn would take his side after hearing this. As a result of Cyraxx's stupidity, Marty decided to call Kaitlyn's family and tell them about Cyraxx and how their daughter fell in love with the Goblin. The family rightfully got angry and forced Kaitlyn to break up with Cyraxx. Kaitlyn had a whole meltdown over losing her relationship with Cyraxx, even though putting roughly no effort into maintaining a relationship and making videos about Cyraxx's ex, Heather K. Marty interviewed Kaitlyn about Cyraxx, saying that he mistreated and abused her, the common things associated with Cyraxx. Surprisingly, she was acting kind of like Cyraxx throughout the whole interview, with her lying about useless information for absolutely no reason, claiming that she, quote, sent a man in a 10-year coma with one punch. Cyraxx, in response to Kaitlyn, said that she betrayed him, even though he abused and cheated on her, and accused her of murdering her father, who died of a heart attack. After the whole Kaitlyn thing, Sally gave Cyraxx the racing steering wheel for his Xbox or some shit, which fueled his desire to make car-related content. Not auto mechanic stuff, but him playing some racing games while recording the TV with a fucking webcam. You would expect Cyraxx to get some sort of job, but no. After having the stream with Kaitlyn and Marty, claiming that he, quote, lost his will to live and fight, and became, quote, heartless and soulless demon during the live stream, all because of Marty. Supposedly, Cyraxx's demon form took over for a while as he whispered "fuck you" to his grandmother, who gifted him the steering wheel. He also claimed that Heather's K's son is his, even though I'm convinced that he is infertile and that he only has one ball like Hitler. Cyraxx made rap videos, drum videos, and other pleas for Heather's K's son to come back, even though both the father and Heather's K confirmed that Cyraxx wasn't the kid's father.
I hit him hard and made it known he wasn't gonna make it home, no matter how much he might disagree.
Starting around 2021, Cyraxx became a mainstream lolcow in the lolcow fandom. He started to have more freakouts noticed by the larger troll and lolcow sphere. He became so popular that he started to have sagas of time periods, just like Christian or Daniel Larson. And before you ask, I will not make a video on fucking Christian. Cyraxx, leading up to the Stylus Incident, was catfished by 3 different trolls: Strawberry Sunshine, Tangerine Cat, and Katrina Luna. Katrina Luna pretended to be a disabled trans woman named Cindy Lou. Cyraxx sent the trolls a video of him shoving a stylus up his ass and licking it clean to the troll under the name Strawberry Sunshine, which Strawberry Sunshine instantly sent the video to Marty. 3 days later, Cyraxx appeared on Marty's livestream with Strawberry Sunshine and Tangerine Cat. The plan of the livestream was to expose both trolls, but of course, he was not only cheating on both of them with each other, but also the troll who played the disabled trans woman. When this confrontation began, Cyraxx kept cursing and screaming at the trolls. About 36 minutes in, Marty asks if Cyraxx knew someone named Cindy Lou, which was one of the troll's alt accounts. After mentioning this name, Marty accused Cyraxx of cheating. Cyraxx, trying to proceed what Marty said, went to hold up a stylus to his neck and said to everyone on the live stream, "Marty, do you want me to end my life?"
Quickly, I'm sorry. Have you recently sent a picture of your penis to a disabled, like slash retarded transgendered person?
No.
Cindy Blue ring a bell, Cyraxx?
Marty, you and I both know that Tyler does like to break into my stuff. You know this.
So if there are voice recordings of you with this person, they don't exist, Cyraxx?
I talked to her on the phone for like 2 minutes, and that was it. But it was
And you sent your penis to this person.
It was nothing sexual, Marty. But point being, and I know that Tyler's not on here to defend himself, so I am gonna say this to Tyler directly. Tyler, you need to stop what you're doing because you're young, man. You have a chance to change your life around, okay? And you doing this hacking crap, that's gonna end you up in prison. It might not be a year from now or whatever, but eventually you will go to prison.
Wait, when was this supposed to have happened?
Let me get the screenshots. So, oh, there he is.
Marty, do you want me to end my life?
No.
Do you want me to end my life?
Cyraxx, I'm gonna have to call a well-being check-in now. I don't want you to end your life. I don't want you to
quit.
Cyraxx, I want you to quit. Okay, it's a little dark now. I mean, I'm not sure really. I might have taken other shots for this. Cyraxx, put the knife down.
Quit, Marty.
Baby.
Cyraxx, you're gonna get 5150, dude. Put it down. I mean, you're.
You need to stop, Marty.
No, Marty, please don't talk right now. Put the knife down, Cyraxx.
It's not a knife. It's a fucking pen. But Marty, this is what you do to me every day.
Wait, what is it, baby?
A pen?
It's the fucking pen that I use. But Marty, this is what you fucking do to me every day, and you think it's a joke. It's not a joke, Marty.
You idiot.
Cyraxx appeared on another live stream with Marty and Schmeckles Cat, screaming and baby raging over Schmeckles, quote, releasing his girl's photos. Cyraxx, of course, why wouldn't he, can't change and started to yell racial slurs and threatened to kill himself with the stylus again. This time, Schmeckle responded by pulling out his own stylus and mocking Cyraxx's quote-unquote attempt. On a third live stream, this time with Strawberry Sunshine and Marty, where she talked about her experiences on trying to convince Cyraxx to get a job and improve himself. But Cyraxx did absolutely nothing and cheated on her. But, seriously, do you expect Cyraxx to change? The dude doesn't even change his underwear after shitting in them. Cyraxx joined the live stream and attempted the same suicide threat with the stylus for a third time. In April of 2021, a Masshole report investigator named Kate Peters started catfishing Cyraxx, posing as a 14-year-old girl and making a stream exposing Cyraxx as a predator. She explained that she noticed how Cyraxx instantly falls for any girl online. She was curious if Cyraxx would fall for someone underage. She started playing as a 14-year-old and started baiting Cyraxx. He took the bait and started getting very romantic very quickly, and got to the point where Cyraxx asked for sexual images and sent a sexual video of himself as well. We'll go more into the pedophilia later in this video because there's a lot more. After all of this got unearthed, Cyraxx cried and tried multiple ways to try to cover this up with multiple excuses, like entrapment, which if true, it wouldn't excuse his behavior, just only void any way to use the screenshots as evidence for police reports. He also claimed the screenshots were edited, his account was hacked, and the decoy sent sexual images before, which, of course, none of these things are true. After a shit ton of attempts to avoid all of the accusations, he started to claim that he's technically not a pedophile, but actually a hebephile by definition. What does he have to do with anything being a file? I don't fucking know. But hebephiles are someone who is attracted to children from the age between 11 to 14 years old. Alright, it's time to pull out the fucking wood chipper now. It is obvious that Cyraxx, either accidental or on purpose, doesn't know what consent is and its laws. Cyraxx doesn't like to call himself a pedophile, not because he knows it's wrong to be attracted to children. No, it's because pedophilia has a bad reaction to people when they hear the word. The word hebephile doesn't have the same bad reaction that pedophile has, which is why Cyraxx is proud to call himself a hebephile.
I'm not a fucking pedophile. Look up the technical term, bitch. I would be considered a hebephile, which, by all technical terms, is not a fucking lie. By all technical terms, I would be a hebephile, which is not a crime. It's not illegal. Therefore, I would not be a pedophile. A pedophile is, by proper noun and proper term, a pedophile is somebody that goes after a prepubescent child, meaning somebody who is 10 years of age or under. I am not that.
Cyraxx began his comedy show called The Skull Scratcher Comedy, where he made poorly made jokes and an attempt at comedy with a low frame per second of video quality webcam with a laugh track over all of it. He then tried to make 2 comedy bits, which were the same low quality, and they were called Open Sore Comedy and Home for the Outcasts. He finished the comedy shows with Jokes on You featuring Trevor, which was just mostly rants and gripes with no comedy at all. And yes, I sat down and watched the entire thing of this, and it was one of the worst experiences I've ever had watching a comedy. But it's better than Amy Schumer, so...
See, you guys like to poke fun and laugh. Well, like I said, you guys want it? You guys got it. I'll give you something to laugh at, you crazy freaking weirdos. Like, you guys want something to laugh at? I will give you something to laugh at. Which is why this channel is going to be rebranded as the Skull Scratchers, which I will be dropping some dope-ass Skull Scratcher merch coming very, very soon.
Sometime in October of 2021, Cyraxx met a trans woman by the name of Trisha on Facebook, which caused Cyraxx's 2 weeks exile from the internet. At this point, Cyraxx's trolls would harass his partners off the internet, or to where they would become ex-partners or enemies of Cyraxx. He eventually leaked his relationship with Trisha, causing the trolls into harassing Trisha. Good job, trolls. You probably made Trisha a part of the 50% of all trans people. Yay! Since Cyraxx started talking about Trisha, the trolls started to say that Trisha isn't a real woman. And this caused Cyraxx to start baby raging and saying how Trisha is actually a real woman and how she is his trans heart wife, and encouraged Trisha to yell at the trolls saying she is a real woman. It was soon found out by Marty that Trisha was actually a 14-year-old intellectually and mentally disabled to where she couldn't understand consent or even understand what Cyraxx was doing. Trisha, being trans or not, cannot consent to Cyraxx's sociopathic behavior and him being in his 30s. Marty and the other trolls got Trisha's account banned off the internet so she wouldn't be able to talk to Cyraxx, and she basically left the internet after that, after getting harassed and banned off of her social media. On January 27, 2022, a drive-by shooting happened nearby Cyraxx's house, and a 13-year-old kid was injured in the shooting. Because of this incident, Cyraxx would disappear off the internet for quite a bit of time, despite him continuing to post on Facebook. He rarely was posting images or videos of himself, leading to trolls trying to bait him into saying that he died in the drive-by shooting.
Hello, everyone. This video is not going to be very long. But after today, after the events that just happened, not only over the last 24 hours, but what just happened a few minutes ago with a little boy getting hurt and getting shot and possibly killed, after today, I'm leaving the internet. And I'm going to be getting into a sport such as boxing or UFC.
Many troll channels started to make memorial videos of Cyraxx, claiming that he died in the shooting, to where even Marty joined in and made a memorial stream for Cyraxx. Cyraxx would hop into Marty's live stream after the memorial stream, yelling and screaming that he was alive, trying to prove it in multiple ways. One of the many ways he tried his livingness was to show off the stylus he shoved up his ass. Marty, after a while, made a fake death certificate and AI-generated autopsy of Cyraxx to prove the fact that Cyraxx was actually dead. This is when another troll, MF Goon, alleged that the videos and live streams Cyraxx was featured in were made with deepfake and used an AI voice. People not knowing Cyraxx genuinely believed that Cyraxx actually died. One of the more notable people who believed this was the Goblin himself. Pink Cobra JFS would react to the false death claims by making fun of Cyraxx. Gothie was a catfish that appeared during the Raxx Saga, being the first catfish in about a year. She would leak videos of Cyraxx claiming that he had lost $10,000 due to Marty's trolling and that PBS would make a documentary about him. Cyraxx would finally discover that Gothie was a catfish, causing the two of them to start fighting in a few live streams. Cyraxx would eventually insult the Boglem's teeth, but nothing else happened at this time that was really interesting. So there wasn't much marked down about it. Niilit, also known as Niilit the Red Panda, is a furry YouTuber and streamer who interacted with Cyraxx friendly for about 3 days out of pure pity for Cyraxx and his situation. Kind of like how the Eric dude we talked about earlier in this video. Niilit was soon thrown under the bus by Cyraxx and became a target of harassment and stalking from Cyraxx until 2024. It wasn't until Niilit found the pedophilia allegations about Cyraxx and evidence that he beat up his own grandmother, evidence sent by the trolls, where Niilit immediately dropped Cyraxx and stopped being his friend, and called him out on Cyraxx's own stream, eventually having Cyraxx ban Niilit for this. He was sent the pedophilia evidence by Kate from Masshole reports and William Gloryhole, and apparently told Niilit's family about Cyraxx and threatened to call CPS on Niilit. Wait, Niilit has a fucking kid? That's a little disturbing about what we're going to talk about in a few minutes, if you ask me. Cyraxx was the one that exposed the friendship between him and Niilit, saying his online username and showed off poorly drawn traced artwork of his character. In the same video, he didn't just slander Masshole Report, but also leaked some of Niilit's personal information and talked about his personal life without permission from Niilit. After Cyraxx banned Niilit, Cyraxx would make a video a few hours later begging Niilit to come back and be his friend while slandering Masshole, framing himself as a victim, and claimed that he had been a friend of Niilit for 10 years, which, not shockingly, didn't go well with Niilit.
You know, Niilit, I hope that you're fucking happy with yourself. I treated you like fucking family, and this is what you do to me, man? You fucking ban me and block me for what? Because your fucking wife told you to, man? Are you fucking kidding me, dude? I had my life threatened multiple times. I was swatted multiple times. And Masshole reports, who is a 36-year-old woman, grown adult, pretended to be a younger 18-year-old adult, and then turned around and sent an image of an underage child that I never asked for to me, and then turned around and pretended to be 14 years of age. She entrapped me with malicious intent. And I threw up. And yet, this is what I get. Even bullied even more. To where I just lost my best friend of 10 years, Niilit. All because they fucking hate me. Because I'm their target. I'm their play toy.
In a second video, Cyraxx would simultaneously call out Niilit and beg to be his friend again.
Oh, what's up, everyone? I am making this video for Niilit the Red Panda, both on Twitch and on YouTube. Niilit, I want you to know that what I'm about to say is in no way out of hatred towards you at all. But what I'm about to say is to give you a fucking wake-up call like you gave me. Like I said, I harbor no hatred towards you at all. So don't think that this is hating on you, because it's not. This is me fucking telling you how you're acting. Not just as a friend, but as a brother. You are acting like a fucking chicken shit. Letting these fucking trolls dictate your friendships. Letting these people fuck with your life. What were the exact fucking words that you told me? The exact words you told me, in essence, were, stop giving a fuck about what these people think. Because eventually they'll go away.
Days later, on another livestream with Niilit, Masshole, and Cruella de Vil, caused Cyraxx to enter the livestream and call Niilit every single slur in the book, telling Niilit to kill himself, shows his dick to the people on livestream where kids could be watching, and threatened Niilit's family, including but not limited to calling CPS to file a false report of abuse. During all of this, Cyraxx was trying to become his friend again while doing the same exact shit he usually does. In a final live stream, someone tried to convince Niilit to buy Cyraxx's shitty traced artwork and demeaned Niilit's ill-written wife, which eventually made Niilit take the artwork Cyraxx made and ripped it on stream, finalizing Cyraxx's and his friendship. A few months after Cyraxx's and Niilit's ended friendship, Cyraxx made a video directed to Niilit and claimed that Niilit's fame got to his head and how they should be friends again, even though as of the recording, Niilit only has 628 subscribers on his official YouTube account. This attempt ultimately failed miserably, with Niilit making a video in fucking VR chat out of all places, claiming that he would never be friends with Cyraxx again because of his pedophilia, and ended up calling Cyraxx a retard and that he should be in prison. Niilit would reflect on Cyraxx with Lolium Glory Hole in a livestream on June 22nd, 2023, which caused Cyraxx to instantly join the livestream and start baby raging, while also trying to get Niilit's friendship back. Cyraxx would attempt to get their friendship back with Niilit until Niilit called him a pedophile, which after that, Cyraxx threatened to kill and attack Niilit and cursed him out. So if you're curious what Niilit is making nowadays, I decided to look up his channel and I found out he made a music video called Niilit's Rise. I fucking listened to it and it's fucking AI music. I could tell within seconds of listening to this and instantly know that it's AI slop. How do I know this? I'm a fucking music producer.
In the quiet of the forest where shadows weave, a red panda lay still with no breath to breathe. The stars above, they whisper low, the universe watching with love to bestow.
After a few posts, he entered a raffle on Twitter somehow so that he'd be able to get a free commission of his character, or a character of his choosing. Want to know what makes me want to talk about this? It's a fucking porn thing, that's why I'm talking about it. I'm censoring the name of the artist because I don't need their ass dragged into Cyraxx shit. But it's a fucking porn thing, and this dude keeps entering raffles for a chance for his character to get fucking drawn in porn. So fucking weird. Just hire someone at this point. So that's enough about this fucking loser. I'm genuinely getting pissed off at the dude for his AI and VR chat slop content and then openly posting porn on his Twitter account connected to his YouTube channel. At least he age restricts some of his videos. At least this dude is the lesser of two evils in this part of the Cyraxx story. Jesus Christ, I A-log on this fuckwit too much. On August 28, 2022, Cyraxx, after 10 years of making music, would finally release a song that isn't suicide-inducing and made something the community said that is, quote, somewhat listenable. This song is called Street Racing Scene. The song is a complete mess, with rhymes that don't even rhyme, which, can we even call those rhymes? And the visuals aren't linked with the audio to begin with. Despite all the issues I've listed, which is basically the basic bullshit, the trolls would inflate his ego by saying this song is great, even convincing him to do live shows of this song. It wasn't until the man, the myth, the legend, William Gloryhole, would copyright Cyraxx's song under the name Draft King, causing Cyraxx to baby rage and freak out even more than before.
Hey yo, here we go. Light 'em up, boys. Rev those engines. Let's go. Revving the engines, here we go. Cruising around town with nowhere to go. Cruising around town, just me and my homies. Hitting up the trip scene, hitting up the track scene. Doing everything that we gotta do to get our names known here in the street racing scene. Going fast this weekend, got that S15. Looking Leo up down with that nice ass trip pack. Got the Lambo with the motherfucking underglow. Looking real mean, got that.
On November 23rd, 2022, Cyraxx was live streaming when a loud snapping noise was heard by the trolls as Cyraxx was defaming Kendall Smith. Cyraxx quickly turned around in genuine shock and confusion as he saw his bedsheet shift slightly, causing him to go into complete silence. Cyraxx, not knowing where the fucking noise came from, started to deny any noise or anything happening, claiming the red light the troll saw was a street light. The chat, confused, thought it suggested that there was a shooting at Cyraxx. Cyraxx looked for any holes on the window and window frame, loudly saying, "Nothing there, guys, windows intact," and "There ain't a goddamn bullet hole, there ain't a scratch or nothing."
Damn near ruined. This bitch Kendall ran around to everybody, including MusicBizMarty, saying that I raped her when I never even met her. There is nothing there, you dumb fucks. Oh, dude, that's the fucking... Talking about that little red light they're seeing, that's the fucking street light, dude. That's the fucking street light across the street that you guys are seeing. That's what I was saying. I don't see shit either, dude. I find a fucking check. Goddamn. Nothing there, guys. Windows intact. Windows in one fucking piece. You happy? Windows in one fucking piece. I just checked. There ain't a goddamn bullet hole. There ain't a scratch. There ain't nothing.
The day after the live stream where he got shot at, he made a video of doing crocodile tears and claimed it was indeed a bullet, which was confirmed by a quote friend of his. How or why someone is friends with the Goblin is unknown. He claims that it was a paranormal activity or something falling. He showed a photo of the entry hole, which looks suspiciously like damaged caulking, and there's no burn or bullet residue left in the hole.
Right now,
I need to help as many people as I can fucking get. Just a couple hours ago, I was raising awareness candle and what she was doing. And little did I know that that bang that I heard wasn't something falling or paranormal activity. But I went back and reviewed the footage after a very good friend of mine, who I'm not going to name because I don't want him being attacked or anything or getting drugged into this shit. But somebody up shooting at my house.
The second hole he showed was a bullet hole in his bed, which was completely straight, which isn't how the bullet would have traveled. Because of the fact the bullet angle was through the window, if it was a bullet hole, it would have been traveling sideways due to the pattern of the first bullet hole. I would like to point out that the bedsheets are actually ripped instead of burnt, unlike how a hole would look. In a phone call with Marty, right after the video was made and the police were called, who did absolutely nothing, Cyraxx claimed the three main suspects were Marty, Candle, and William Gloryhole. Marty tried to convince Cyraxx that both Sneaky Jim and Danny Brown were the ones that were the actual suspects, which failed miserably. Soon after, Cyraxx made a video exposing Marty as a terrorist. In this video, he doesn't only say Marty planned the attack, but also hired Israeli assassins to shoot him because he thinks Marty is Jewish. Which I don't know if he is or isn't, but don't worry about it, it doesn't matter. He claimed that Marty planned the attack because he couldn't, quote, have him, and was doing everything to make him look psychotic and get institutionalized.
So, Marty, you want to sit there and run your mouth like a punk bitch, right, old man? Well, I tell you right now, Marty. Oh, I'm doing good, Stefan. What up, Black? Marty, I know what you're about, motherfucker. I know what the fuck your little game is, you fat fuck. You want to try and sit there and I know what your game is, motherfucker. I'm not stupid. I see right through your motherfucking bullshit, bro. You tried to have me killed 2 nights ago. You hired one of your little Israeli friends. You know, that little friend you said you were going to have come over? That was the motherfucker that tried to shoot at me 2 nights ago, you dumb bitch. Your little friend is the motherfucker that tried to shoot and kill me through my goddamn window. Oh, and just for the record, Marty, I know what the fuck you're trying to do. You're trying to have me locked away in the damn psych ward because you can't have me.
Cyraxx will continue insisting to this day that he was almost killed, even after multiple times being proven wrong with evidence that is undeniable right in front of him. To this day, he has made multiple changes and had completely different stories. For example, he claims that he was shot with an ice bullet, which if you know anything about guns, wouldn't even work in the first place. Then he claimed it was a regular bullet. He would also start to claim that people were shooting him from the rooftops, which implied that the Israeli snipers used his neighbor's rooftops to shoot at Cyraxx at, since there is no tall buildings around Cyraxx's house at all. Urban spelunking is a term coined by the bedbug crotch goblin to describe his hobby of illegally trespassing onto private property, especially train yards. He claims that Urban Spelunking Act protected him from any legal consequences for trespassing. Wait for the fucker to get arrested and tried for doing this one day. After losing his friend and his role model Niilit, Cyraxx decided to spice up his life by trespassing onto train yards again. He's been doing this since at most 2018. He doesn't understand that spelunking is a term for someone who descends into caves. Cyraxx will take photos of himself urban spelunking, causing trolls to call him out and report him to the police, who did absolutely nothing about this situation. Marty and Cyraxx would make a live stream together, allowing Marty to debunk and prove that Cyraxx was making up the Urban Spelunking Act to justify his illegal actions. Marty would show him the Legislative Service Commission House Bill number 667, which I was unable to find myself, but it specifically made it illegal to explore train yards. Cyraxx, after losing Niilit, would lose another person dear to him, and this person was Jason David Frank, the Green Power Rangers actor. Why this person is dear to him is unknown, but anyone dear in Cyraxx's eyes is basically someone Cyraxx wants to manipulate for his own needs or wants. And why this person in my notes has dear in quotation marks is because Cyraxx made multiple accusations of assault from Jason and originally hated him. And of course, in Cyraxx's fashion, who's known to grift about people's deaths, made a memorial stream for Jason where he poorly played any sort of music and did a handstand. Kind of like Daniel Larson's early videos of him doing jumping jacks. Cyraxx then livestreamed Jason's funeral and then completely forgot about him, like he never existed. Cyraxx will begin having tech-related issues between the end of 2022 and the beginning of 2023. This will start what the Cyraxx community called the Watch Saga. This is when Cyraxx would hop into live streams claiming that he got a new Apple Watch, saying that it was worth more than Marty's entire house and that he bought it himself. If you haven't figured this out by now, no. Since Cyraxx doesn't have a job or any sort of government assistance, this was something that Sally bought him. And to put the cherry on top, it wasn't even an Apple Watch to begin with. It was a cheap HW67 watch that was gifted to him for an early Christmas gift. This quote-unquote smartwatch was soon taken away by police because Marty gave an anonymous tip to the police about Cyraxx probably having CP on that advice. Knowing Cyraxx and him openly saying that he's a hebephile, I wouldn't put it past him. Now, bricking is very common with Cyraxx. Since Cyraxx is easily manipulated and totally fucking stupid, it is easy to trick or convince Cyraxx into destroying his devices. Cyraxx, being completely stupid, was tricked multiple times into destroying multiple Xboxes, personal computers, Nintendo Wiis, and even his own fucking house. The funniest part is that it's the same exact method almost every single time. This is obviously the easiest and the funniest way to get Cyraxx to baby rage and to prevent him from contacting children. Cyraxx got an Xbox One, even though it's the third generation of Xbox, thanks Microsoft, for Christmas in 2022, and started regularly streaming gameplay in early 2023. He would usually post gameplay of Fortnite, which you could talk to kids on, Call of Duty, Assetto Corsa, Need for Speed, and Asphalt 9. This was until Liquid Chris, which isn't the real Liquid Chris, MF Goon, and Barberry bricked his Xbox, starting the Xbox Saga. Which is where this part of this section begins from. We'll go over all the brickings in this section of the video.
Cyraxx, we just bricked your Xbox.
No, I fucking had mods loaded. Those were the ones.
What he just plugged in was a 10 gigawatt kill stick that disrupts any technology plugged into it.
Mr. Cyraxx, if you don't believe us, try plugging it in somewhere else.
They just fucking sent me my address.
It's done. We know where you are. We have the message.
God.
We have
everything.
Oh
my God.
We're in your Facebook.
Cyraxx, this is what happens. You don't go on fucking panel, you motherfucker.
This is what
happens. You nigger boy.
Oh my God.
Slit your throat.
Now, here's what's gonna happen, Cyraxx. Here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna.
After this, Cyraxx went to go on a live stream with Marty the day afterwards to address his trolls, where Cyraxx recounts what happened during the Xbox bricking video. He talked about the backstory and how he mourned his dead Xbox. He mourned over a fucking Xbox. What a fucking shame. Marty told Cyraxx about a dude named Stephen Mooring, that he would give Cyraxx an Xbox for no charge at all. Because of this, Cyraxx would spend all day talking to Steven to the point where CIA Hole had to tell Marty that Cyraxx was too busy talking to Steven that he couldn't show up or listen to any of the live streams hosted by Marty. Cyraxx did show up once just to show off his dead Xbox like it was some sort of fucking funeral. Steven and his family, after Steven posted a picture of the package to prove he sent it to Cyraxx, started to get harassed by Cyraxx's trolls. Steven contacted Marty for help, which Marty suggested that Steven redirect the package, which Steven did, causing Cyraxx to baby rage. Sally, being a scamming fucking bitch she is, contacted a Norwegian man named Danny and told him, completely lying, that her disabled son broke his Xbox and she needed help paying for it. She said she'll split the bill with him, which of course she didn't, and scammed the dude out of an Xbox. Cyraxx didn't give a shit, showing you how great of people Cyraxx and his grandmother is. Cyraxx would brick another Xbox on March 4th, 2025. Probably the one Sally scammed Danny out of. Showing absolutely no caution towards another free USB from someone on the internet. This time, Cyraxx was promised a special edition Xbox controller meant for drifting in video games, like Forza or Need for Speed. While chatting to this mysterious person on Messenger, Cyraxx plugged the controller into his Xbox, causing the kill switch to activate and fried the circuits instantly. Cyraxx, after the gig was up, set his sights on William Gloryhole, N-Word Boy, and Marty, despite Marty dying over a month before the brickening. Cyraxx entered a call with someone pretending to be Marty, baby raging and threatening Marty into paying for the broken Xbox that his mother scammed out of a poor innocent dude. The next day, Cyraxx made a video acting all smug and pretending to brush off the bricking of his Xbox, claiming that he was switching over to start playing on his gaming PC, which soon met the same fate. In said video, Cyraxx has a sore throat, suggesting that he spent the entire last night baby raging and throwing a fit like a literal toddler. God, he acts more like a baby than the baby fur I made a video on before this one.
Did you break a piece of my equipment? Or did you actually break a piece of my equipment? Yeah. But you know what? I'm not even mad about it, bro. And you want to know why I'm not mad? Because you guys forced me to do gaming on PC, which is something I've been wanting to do for a long time. I've been wanting to do PC style gaming for a while now, bro. So, y'all ain't stop shit, homie. Y'all just forced me to do a different style of gameplay videos. That's all you did.
In June of 2025, Cyraxx broke two consoles at once, this time being a Wii and an Xbox 360 a buddy troll sent Cyraxx. He broke it the same way he broke all of his other consoles and other devices, by kill switch. He plugged it into his Wii and was suspicious of it being a kill switch, so instead of not doing anything else with it, he plugged it into his Xbox 360, breaking the console. This was definitely done just to prove that the trolls are destroying his stuff, without realizing that this is pretty much his own fault at this point, falling for the same shit over and over again.
Alright, so here we are. I am going to test this out and see if this works. Right here is the JTAG Xbox USB. I am recording this for in case something happens. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it into my USB slot here right in front. It was a motherfucking kill stick. Now guess what? Not turning on.
Sometime in early 2025, Cyraxx was tricked by trolls into installing a backdoor in the infamous memes virus onto his gaming PC. With this backdoor, trolls were able to get access into his computer and gather more personal information about Cyraxx and coordinating DDoS attacks against him. On March 21st, 2025, a buddy troll came to Cyraxx and suggested him to let him help with removing the virus. I've tried downloading the video, but sadly, I was unable to do it because it's a fucking Rumble video. I hate Rumble so fucking much! The buddy troll instructed Cyraxx into repeatedly flashing his BIOS to cleanse it. This is not suggestive for people new to computers because it can easily permanently damage the motherboard if done incorrectly. and this was planned by the buddy troll. Cyraxx ended up bricking the motherboard, preventing it from booting up. And of course, it could be fixed, but it's extremely unlikely for this to happen because it takes a skilled computer nerd and components in order to fix this shit. Cyraxx also bricked his house somehow. On his 35th birthday, Cyraxx received an Xbox from a mysterious donor through the mail. However, this Xbox was rigged to trap the circuit breaker of the house. Despite the fact the only thing that happened was a 5-minute power outage, Cyraxx claimed that it was a failed bombing attempt, claiming that it was a failed attempt by the trolls to kill him. Despite the fact Cyraxx fell for the same trick over and over again, plugging in kill switches into his devices, he never learned his lesson on not plugging shit from random stranger into his things. Cyraxx claimed that William Gloryhole was behind everything. There's no evidence supporting this, so you know. He was able to unbrick some devices like his phone, Game Boy Advance, a laptop, and a Kindle, and also his fake Apple Watch, yet he still hasn't learned a single thing. Cyraxx always had an interest in racing, so much in fact that he convinced Sally into getting him a steering wheel for his Xbox, and later on his personal computer. Of course, Cyraxx is awful at racing games and doesn't even have a learner's permit for driving while being in his 30s. He still is in a state of denial about his lack of talent, which led to Marty challenging Cyraxx into a race. At first, Cyraxx didn't show up to the fight because of the train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio, as an excuse that he was afraid of Ohio becoming the next Chernobyl. Really, Cyraxx? Fuck you, absolutely fuck you for a derailment of a train, comparing it to a tragedy that almost killed 300,000 people and poisoned an entire area because of communist Russia's unwillingness to care about people in general. After a bunch of arguing between the two, Cyraxx finally agreed to race Marty in Need for Speed the following day. Cyraxx makes a deal with Marty, saying if Marty wins, Cyraxx will delete his channel, and if Cyraxx won, Marty deletes his channel and leaves YouTube, with the winner being called the Drift King. Cyraxx, being a complete wuss, skipped on the race, making Marty to record himself racing and compare the footage to Cyraxx's racing. And of course, Marty won, with Cyraxx denying losing to this day, until at some point, Cyraxx called Marty the true Drift King, forfeiting the whole race. This caused Cyraxx to move to a fighting game called JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle, where Marty and Cyraxx fought, with Marty beating him and declaring himself as the JoJo King. Suddenly, a twist of events, Cyraxx hops onto a live stream with Marty and challenges him to another race, causing Cyraxx to quote-unquote win. But Cyraxx only won because he broke the rules by using assisted driving, with proof that showed Cyraxx had perfect driving in the race by assisted driving. Everyone knows at the end of the day that Cyraxx, when he plays driving games, he always crashes. Here's a compilation here.
Oh, come on, you asshole. Let's see what you got, motherfucker. Alright, this nigga wants to race. Let's race. Come on, boy. Out the way, son. Come on, nigga. Can't touch this, son. Oh, boy's mad because he can't hit me. Oh, boy's triggered because he can't hit this. Yes, I know he's in here. He ain't never gonna find me. Those track is too big. Oh boy ain't gonna find me anywhere, bro. Hashtag cancel N-word boy the troll, y'all. Can't hit what's in the air, bitch.
Hashtag cancel N-word, boy.
Another thing that was pointed out that he was cheating was that he only had one hand on the controller at parts of times, and still had perfect driving. This dude cheated and still crowned himself as the Drift King, despite the fact the only way he could win was by cheating? What a fucking loser. Cyraxx got his ass beat by Marty on March 3rd, 2023 in the streets nearby Cyraxx's house. This fight was one of the last reasons why Marty would go to Akron after Cyraxx would threaten him or challenge him into a fight. Leading up to the fight, in February 2023, Marty was teasing the idea of renting an Airbnb 600 feet, which is around 183 meters, away from Cyraxx's house. Marty has shown up to Cyraxx's house before, but this time he planned to stay for a while because they've been fighting over the stupid title of Drift King, all because Cyraxx sees the title as something to die over. After Marty told Cyraxx his plan to come up to Akron, Cyraxx did his usual bullshit by threatening Marty with a fucking tripod, calling him every single slur in the racial slur database to ward off Marty. Marty would make a YouTube short fucking driving up to Akron and arrived on March 3rd. Before the fight, in the early morning, Marty arrived at his Airbnb while Cyraxx was busy recording videos, one of them being a reaction video of Marty getting owned by a dude with the name Lord CP, which is ironic for Cyraxx because he is an actual fucking pedophile and admits that he's attracted to kids. And holy shit, the reaction video is 52 minutes long.
Understand that. I'm not no fucking Cyraxx, bro.
I know why
you
you
ain't
won't.
fucking with no retard.
I know why you
I
won't.
just need you to
You're
understand that.
dressed like Cyraxx. That's why I know you won't. That's why I'm
No,
comfortable doing
ain't
this.
nobody like. Well, Cyraxx is.
But
Well,
you are,
Cyraxx
though.
is a
You are.
Cyraxx is mentally fucking handicapped.
And
He
so
does
are
not
you.
have his
And
fucking.
so are you.
He does not
So
have
are you.
all of his fucking mental faculties there, bro.
And neither.
Actually, I do, man. I just let Marty think I don't. That's the thing, man. I do have all my mental faculties there, man. I just don't let motherfuckers like him see it. Because I'm not dumb. See, I'm a lot smarter than people take me for, bro. I actually am. I'm pretty fucking smart when you boil it down. I'm a lot smarter than this douchebag. I just like to play dumb. I like to play head games with him. I like to let him think that I'm not smart, but in all reality, I actually am a lot smarter than people give me credit for. For real. The only dumb one here that has mental issues is him.
I don't have that fucking time, bro. Another video Cyraxx made is a live stream. Can we even call those videos? I don't know. Maybe? Anyways, he was screaming about free metal music instrumentals with some sort of filter over his voice. That was really fucking annoying. At the end of the live stream, Cyraxx noted Marty was nearby and ended the stream saying that he needed to go help a bandmate.
You guys ready to take this up a notch? I'm so excited to announce that local recordings are... Oh shit. Yo guys, I have to bounce because something's going on with one of my bandmates. I'll catch you guys. I'm not even joking, man. Something serious going on with one of my bandmates. I'll catch you guys later.
Around 30 minutes before the fight, Marty started a live stream to record the entire fight. He was calmly waiting on the porch, waving at passing cars, and patiently waited for Cyraxx to come over. About 31 minutes and 18 seconds in, you can hear the two yelling at each other. Marty saying, "Come on by, buddy boy," and Cyraxx saying something I don't even fucking understand. Could be gibberish and slurs as far as I know. I believe he said, "I told you not to be here," before fighting, but I could be wrong. I don't know. During the fight, Cyraxx ran up to Marty, who was walking on the sidewalk, with his fist up, which immediately countered with Marty's fist and being thrown to the ground. While Marty curses out Cyraxx, you can hear Cyraxx cry about Marty trolling him. About 31 minutes and 53 seconds in, you could hear Cyraxx scream in a loud and raspy voice, admitting defeat that he was not the king of Akron, and pleaded to be let go by Marty until he released Cyraxx, causing Cyraxx to retreat into the background, in the rain, while Marty collected his ring as a trophy.
Come on by, buddy boy. Come on by, Cyraxx. Come on by.
I thought I told you ain't trying to be here.
Come on. Come over here.
Oh. Why?
Stupid motherfucker.
Why will you leave me alone? Why?
Why wouldn't you learn?
Love you. Love you.
Bitch! Get the fuck out of here. Who's the king?
You are?
Then run away now. And shut the fuck up.
Fine. You win. You win. You win. Please let me go. I'm begging you. Please.
Get the fuck out of here. Get up. Get the fuck up. Bitch. Well, yeah, he's bleeding. Yeah, he's bleeding pretty good. Let me wash my hands really quickly.
After the fight, Marty shut off his camera and said, yeah, he's bleeding pretty good. Let me wash my hands real quick. The wiki said his instead of my, so that's an issue with the wiki's editors right there. After he said that about 33 minutes into the live stream, Marty would continue the live stream for another hour after this incident. Cyraxx actually called the police on Marty right after returning home from the fight, claiming that he was assaulted by Marty, leaving out crucial details like he started the fight and that he constantly threatened Marty with physical violence constantly. Cyraxx, after talking to the police, made a live stream where he announced that your boy's fucking good and celebrated that he showed up and was still standing, despite the fact he had a busted lip, eye, a broken nose, wearing the same clothes, and was bleeding while making the stream. He would say word for word, yeah, Marty may have beat my ass, but who cares? I still showed up, bitch.
Your boy is fucking good. Your boy is good. And there ain't none of you motherfuckers that can't sit there and say that I didn't fucking show up and show out. Can't none of you say that I didn't fucking show up and show out, because I did. I showed up. I showed the fuck up. I'm still standing. I'm still fucking standing. I'm right here. I'm still fucking standing. Yeah, Marty may have beat my ass, but who cares? I still showed up, bitch.
Cyraxx would also claim that Marty has never been in a fight before and cheated by standing on his neck, despite the fact that fights usually don't have any rules and it's usually a deathmatch type ordeal. He would also claim that Marty assaulted him, but if you look back at the fight, you could see that he was aggressor in the fight to begin with. Cyraxx said he would press charges on Marty, despite the fact, as I stated before, he started the fight. Cyraxx would appear in Marty's stream after being in the fight, but this time dressed in a shitty Kmart brand style ninja costume, saying that Marty tried to kill him to the point of getting a death rattle from his voice, pretending very poorly, I would add. and that he never tried to start a fight with Marty in the first place. He would end the live stream saying that he would try to get Marty arrested and locked in jail. Marty responded with the fact that he was shocked that Cyraxx was a real person and was still talking, telling Cyraxx to shut the fuck up.
Because if you had, you would have let me get my bearings like an honorable human. You have no honor.
I threw you to the ground like a fucking rag doll, dude. You're like, honestly,
It doesn't matter.
why are you still even talking like this? Do you ever learn anything ever?
Because I'm gonna make
do you ever learn anything
because
ever?
I'm gonna make sure that you go to prison for everything you've done to me. I'm gonna make sure that you go to prison for tonight and all the times that you came at me, Marty. And the video
I can't even believe you're a real person.
This beatdown sadly wasn't a reality check everyone expected from Cyraxx, but in fact his ego came back just a few days after the fight, which just proves that he'll never learn from his lesson and is more fucking retarded than one of the kids from the special needs schools you guys have in America. Cyraxx's ego probably got larger somehow by claiming he was the real victor, by claiming Marty cheated again, by saying that Marty used his weight against him. Let's bring back the clip of the scream, shall we? Because is this what a real victor of a fight would sound like? I don't think so. After the fight with Marty, Cyraxx would slow down the amount of posts he would usually make. While he was posting, he would usually make live streams on Kick. This was due to several reasons, because mostly his desire to stop interacting with Marty, pressure from Sally to stop feeding the trolls, and his relationship with someone named Jasmine. Jasmine doesn't have a page about her on the wiki, so I'm unable to pull things up about her. This saga lasted around 6 weeks in total, with Cyraxx occasionally joining Marty's livestream under extreme rare conditions, such as Sally going to the hospital when Jasmine broke up with him. While there are only a few livestreams with Cyraxx featured, each one was extremely noticeable. One of the live streams, he pulled out a plastic crown from somewhere and delusionally started calling himself the King of Akron. Another live stream, he would wail like a seal during the Jasmine live stream. Well, it's obvious to get rid of the problem of constant harassment and trespassing, but you have to get rid of the root problem of all of it, Cyraxx. Cyraxx is a full-grown adult and can reasonably get evicted from the household. The problem is that Sally insists on keeping Cyraxx in the house instead of him living on the streets or some sort of mental ward or prison. Sally seems unwilling to drop the dead weight that is Cyraxx. She still has and have threatened Cyraxx with eviction when she had enough of the harassment the fucker keeps bringing with his bullshit. But so far, Sally has done it twice to Cyraxx. The first time was of June in 2023. Sally told Cyraxx that the landlord had threatened to evict them unless they cut off the internet. And, not shockingly, Cyraxx went to beg for money on YouTube, to beg for money for a lawyer, and fight the landlord's decision. However, after nothing happened, people started to believe that Sally made this whole story up, and it was an attempt to try to make Cyraxx moderate his behavior, which, of course, didn't fucking do anything. The second time was October of 2024. A leaked phone call between CIA Hole and Cyraxx came to light, where a panicked Cyraxx claimed that Sally and Ed snapped and told him that he is no longer welcome in the house. This phone call generated a lot of excitement for a homeless saga, but it was a dud. It was an own phone call with unrelated events going on, and Cyraxx kept being Cyraxx as usual. On June 25th, 2023, Aware of Myself, who the wiki doesn't even know, showed up to Cyraxx's house late at night carrying a poster board sign that said Chance Wilkins is a child predator. After AOM had been protesting and showing the neighbors the sign, Cyraxx left his house armed with a metal baseball bat and beat AOM, with Sally and Ed praising him and kept pushing for Cyraxx to keep beating AOM with a baseball bat.
Bum 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 I ran. Bum 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 I ran. Throw some rocks. Tell the Ayatollah gonna put you in a box. By my red bomb, 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 my red.
After this, AOM rightfully called the police on Cyraxx, which they showed up, but according to an interview with AOM, had to leave early because there were more important things to do than Cyraxx beating a man with a baseball bat like the fucking crotch goblin he is. After responding to, I don't know, a fucking meth addict killing his girlfriend with a fucking paint can, which I think what happened, they came back to arrest Cyraxx. Cyraxx was arrested at 9 p.m. by Akron PD. When Cyraxx heard he was going to be arrested, he made a whining noise that sounded like a dead seal making its last noise, asking why he was being arrested, which is fucking obvious if you have an IQ above 40. Swinging a baseball bat and hitting someone with it is gonna get you arrested, you fucking dipshit. He asked the cops if he can make a deal with them, which is the reason why is unknown. Maybe he's too afraid to go to prison. While begging the cops to not arrest him, he attempted to show them evidence of AOM sending death threats against him and his family. The officers shut him down and said there's no way to prove it's the same person. Cyraxx was quickly taken out of the house while making the same exact noise he did when the cuffs were put on, which is when trolls started to record and call him rightfully a child predator. This is when Ed and Sally completely denied everything, even though they heard Cyraxx yell that he is a hebephile any chance he gets called a pedophile. Ed soon walked up to the cameraman looking like a complete meth addict and demanded that the cameraman be taken away, which police didn't do and told Ed to calm down and step away. Ed stepping away and Cyraxx was put into the cop car. Sally told the arresting officer that she wanted Cyraxx to be in a cell by himself due to being small and a target for getting assaulted, even though he would probably get attacked for his pedophilic behavior, which the officers said they couldn't control. Soon after, Cyraxx was rid his rights and driven away, yelling that he was innocent until the car door was closed, shutting him the fuck up even after the police told him that they said multiple times that he needed to get off the internet months ago to prevent problems like this. Cyraxx was later taken to jail at 12:40 a.m.
Just go. I swear to God. Sir,
This is fucked up.
sir, can I please?
allowed to do whatever the fuck they want to.
Sir, can I please, can I ask you something?
We've been asking you guys for help for a long time.
I understand. I've been out here dozens and dozens of times.
Sir, can I please, can I make a deal with you, please, sir?
We can't make deals, Chance.
You got shoes, Chance?
Mom, please.
Chance.
I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to go to jail. Listen, I protected myself.
Chance.
You don't understand.
I understand, Chance.
No, you don't.
Chance, come on.
No, you don't.
Take him with you.
Okay.
Listen.
Tell him to get the fuck out of here.
Turn.
We'll tell her. Chance, turn around.
Turn.
Sir, I have been trying to.
Turn.
I have been trying to. Ed, help me. Ed.
Help you, man.
Ed. Ed.
Chance, come on now.
They're gonna lock me up if I help you.
Ed. Help. Why? Can I please talk to you? I want help. That's all I want.
Hey, Chance, do you have shoes?
Sally later bonded Cyraxx out of prison for about $304 the day after the assault. I was reading something from an ex-jailer and he explained it a lot better than I can. He basically explained that assault has a set bond price, and since most people don't have $2.5 thousand laying around, they go to a bondsman. The bondsman pays the entire bond for a loan over time, with some money up front. Bondsmen can easily set things up like ankle monitors or restriction to travel, which if you break, you automatically go to jail. Cyraxx was given a pre-trial on July 3rd, 2023, but there's no archives of this court case. On September 27th, AOM announced that he would be dropping the charges on Cyraxx due to the lack of interest in spending time and money into the court case. This made people who were studying and his trolls really, really upset at AOM for letting Cyraxx get away again for yet another crime, free from any long-term consequences. which personally I wouldn't fucking do in the first place. Cyraxx saw this as a victory when the charges were dropped, claiming that he won the case. This led to Cyraxx blaming everything on AOM, just like he did with the fight with Marty. Cyraxx made up a bunch of excuses for the assault, like he was being gang stalked, AOM was trying to start a riot, and that everything he did was under the Stand Your Ground laws. But let's look at the laws, shall we? Section 2901.09. No duty to retreat in residence or vehicle. This is in the Ohio Revised Code, Section 29, Chapter 2901. It says this, and I quote for both B and C. For purposes of any section of the Revised Code that sets forth a criminal offense, a person has no duty to retreat before using force in self-defense, defense of another, or defense of the person's residence if that person is in a place in which the person lawfully has the right to be. A trier of fact shall not consider the possibility of retreat as a factor in determining whether or not a person who used force in self-defense, defense of another, or defense of that person's residence reasonably believed that the force was necessary to prevent injury, loss, or risk to life or safety. What this is saying, at least to the best of my ability and understand what it is saying, is this. You don't have to retreat if faced with a threat to you, your family, or your property. It also says you cannot use the fact you didn't retreat to dictate if it was self-defense or assault. It does not give you the right to go out of your house with a baseball bat and assault a peaceful protester on the sidewalk. And don't get me started on section 2901.05, which is about self-defense. Around 2023 to 2024, Cyraxx was influenced by a buddy troll named Sneaky Jim and the Shadow Collective, who convinced him to contact other Lolcows. He started by making a video about a new era and the end of Cyraxx trolling. Then he announces his involvement with new trolls. These trolls convinced Cyraxx into making a video on Foodie Beauty thanking her for defending him, which compared Marty to Osama bin Laden. This video was immediately retracted after being uploaded. Cyraxx made a second video, this time about Daniel Larson, where he makes fun of Larson for being homeless. He also warned Larson, who is also a pedophile, that he was almost assassinated and was assaulted by the trolls. He also claimed that trolls only cared about money and views. Cyraxx told Larson to go to the police and get a protection order from them. But let's ignore the fact that you need at least a name for a protection order. On July 18, 2024, Cyraxx became aware that a troll was flying a drone above and around his house. The troll who was doing this is Super Saiyan Jim 2, and the post that Cyraxx finally noticed this was an N-Word Boys account, who was reposting all of Jim's drone footage since Jim started posting them. How long it took Cyraxx to realize this since it has started in 2023 is beyond me. These drone flying videos started to get Cyraxx paranoid, who thought the trolls were going to bomb his house with some sort of bomb strapped to the drone, even though good drones on the civilian market is usually around over $1,000. So Cyraxx, being Cyraxx, started threatening Marty and the other trolls that show up in his neighborhood. He claims that he has military-grade equipment like a drone jammer, night vision devices, and other bullshit like that. During all of this, trolls started fucking with Cyraxx by dropping jars of paint onto his property, furthering Cyraxx's fears about his house being bombed.
You were good, son, real good. Maybe even the best.
On February 2nd, 2025, the community was shocked and saddened to find out that Marty died from an overdose a few days earlier. People first believed that this was another trick by Marty, since he was known to pull outlandish stuff to troll Cyraxx, but as time went on, it became clear that Marty, the King of Akron, did actually pass away, taking away one of the best trolls in the Cyraxx community. It was confirmed by William that the day following the death, they were trying to hide it away to protect his family from harassment, which they can no longer hide anymore. As of Cyraxx's reaction, he thought everything was a ploy by Marty to fake his death and that he was trying to hide from the judicial system he keeps dodging. Cyraxx is going as far as claiming that Marty's funeral was fake and everyone was paid actors. This unexpected yet disrespectful reaction was surprising to everyone because everyone was expecting Cyraxx to be even more disrespectful and celebrate Marty's death.
Hello, YouTube. So, according to the internet, the man known as MusicBizMarty is supposedly dead. And I'm supposedly the one to blame. Well, I'm about to knock your guys' socks off and prove to you guys that he really is alive and well. And nobody wants to believe what I'm saying. Everyone's saying that, oh, the screenshots are doctored and da. Well, we're about to dive into some details on this shit. Because quite honestly, I'm tired of being told I'm this and I'm that and blah blah blah. I'm tired of it.
A popular theory is that Cyraxx knows that Marty really did die, but clings to the fake death belief to avoid facing the truth that Marty is gone. He would have nobody to blame for everything that happens. It's to the point where Marty was so engraved into Cyraxx's mind that even beyond the grave, Marty is still messing with Cyraxx. But as time continued, the delusion died down after half a year, and Cyraxx finally accepted that Marty did actually die. This is probably because he found another scapegoat to blame all his problems on. With Marty dead, a bunch of trolls rushed to come and fill Marty's place. With Marty no longer at the reins, William Gloryhole and N-Word Boy had no excuse to hold back on fucking with the Goblin, and would try to make the Goblin's life as miserable as possible. It started with bricking his Xbox, which we talked about earlier, using a kill switch to destroy his main gaming platform. The next day, they had Cyraxx install the memes virus onto his computer and all of the other stuff which we talked about earlier in this video. Around the same time as the memes virus, N-Word Boy told everyone that he had a backdoor into Cyraxx's computer, showing off his Discord logs, Facebook messages, and Google searches. This caused trolls to immediately search through the leaks and found more chats with Cyraxx talking to kids, grooming them for his sick pleasure, as opposed to his well pleasure. He baby raged and claimed that the leaks were Photoshop, despite the fact they were literal fucking logs. This plan came to complete when on March 21st, 2025, where a buddy troll convinced Cyraxx that the malware was in his BIOS and needed to be flashed in order to be fixed. Flashing a BIOS is basically updating the basic input-output system. This usually is done to improve system performance, fix bugs, add supports to new hardware, like CPU or RAM, and patches security vulnerabilities. And just stated like earlier in this video, it destroyed his computer completely, destroying his ability to make music or play video games. Without any ability to play new games or make his music, can we even call this music? I sat down and listened to the whole fucking thing, and it makes me want to fucking end myself. It's literally just random fucking noises from Cyraxx's throat with a pre-made guitar loop in the fucking background. This is the shit I used to make when I was 11 years old, and it was still better than this. Well, whatever it is, once he could not make that thing, his mood obviously dipped. He would frequently post on Facebook crying and whining that he doesn't have a gaming PC or an Xbox. He would constantly beg for money or for someone to send him new electronics, thinking that people would give him free stuff because he's Cyraxx. How dare Cyraxx not get what he wants? Well, guess what? He couldn't in the first place. Trolls blacklisted his address from Amazon by mass flagging, which means he can't get any packages to his house, claiming they have redirected the few only packages Cyraxx would have gotten, notably Steven's package to Cyraxx, which we talked about earlier. But this all could have been a ploy to get Cyraxx to rage more and more for every troll's amusement. Despite him having literally anything useful destroyed, Cyraxx would still use what he had left to make content. Mostly his phone, an old shitty Chromebook, a few old retro consoles, and free trials for cloud streaming services. The quality dropped more than it already was because of this. Now, with no auto-tune to make up for his awful singing, having to record everything on his phone, and no headphones, Sally and Ed had to deal with an even louder Cyraxx than before. Missing the attention that came from Marty in his streams, he would frequently instigate conflicts with old figures that moved on from Cyraxx's bullshit, like those Lolcow slop tubers hoping to fight him on a livestream like he once did with Marty. On March 11, 2025, TikTok personality and Lolcow Tophiachu, real name Tophia Sidewell, had her brother, Donald Sidewell Jr., also known as Brotherchu, was shot and killed during a carjacking while sleeping in the parking lot of a church. The shooting also critically wounded their mother. Funnily enough, the suspect of the carjacking was shot and killed by a security guard during the second carjacking. On the same day, Cyraxx made 2 live streams in where he addressed Donald's death, using this tragedy to speak against internet trolling and quote-unquote cyberbullying, which can be easily countered with the fucking block button. But that's besides the point. He did the same thing with Jason David Frank's death and Zach Huson's death. Zach was the person who died at the shooting nearby Cyraxx's house, which he thought was an attempt to assassinate him. Cyraxx claims that the carjacking was a result of targeted online harassment of Tophia and her family. Tophia also believes that this is why her brother died as well. This led to another declaration from Cyraxx that he would be leaving the internet forever and that he created a change.org for criminalizing online trolling. What's funny is that the UK has done that, and look at it now. It's literal hell. I'd rather stay in Moldova with a communist dictatorship than move to the United Kingdom. Obviously joking, but it's seriously fucking stupid that they illegalized fucking speech. Alex Stefani, also known as Big T or Little T, pick a fucking name, would you, is a live streamer who turned from a ween into a lolcow, and a convicted felon, gaining infamy in May of 2025, where he visited Cyraxx's house on multiple occasions. The first time was a dud, with no Cyraxx or any of the other troglodytes appearing. His second visit, however, did have Cyraxx caught on tape, but there was a fight as well. Following the first visit, Alex would submit himself as a lolcow and was an example of the golden rule of lolcows: don't interact with them. By the way, I looked up where the Tefini name comes from, and it's from Italy.
Thanks a lot, guys. Merry Christmas. Get the crowbar and a hammer, Ralphie. Fragile. It must be Italian.
Alex's first visit was a disappointment, yet amusing to say the least. He would announce on May 8th his plan to bike to Cyraxx's house with a backpack of a shit ton of useless shiesty masks, probably to quote-unquote hide his identity because he was a felon, and was arrested for assault. How shocking! Throughout Alex's livestream, as he was biking to Cyraxx's house, he made the stream unbearable by constantly asking for donations like a fucking piggy bank. After 2 fucking hours of him begging for donation and hearing him huff and puff from biking, he would finally arrive at Cyraxx's house only to be greeted by Ed himself, telling Alex to leave. After finding out that he couldn't meet the fabled bedbug crotch goblin himself, he would sit at the curb and beg for money so he could buy a bus ticket and a pizza. Alex wouldn't get this money and had to phone a friend so he could get home. Cyraxx's response to this was to play the victim like he always does, and Kiwi Farms would dox Alex, revealing that he was on probation for assault and didn't have a job. How unexpected! After making himself a target of the Cyraxx community, trolls started to target and fuck with Alex for his little stunt he pulled. One troll pretended to be Cyraxx and contacted Alex via Messenger, threatening him with a knife and audio from one of Cyraxx's videos, attempting to provoke Alex, which worked flawlessly. Alex fell for the troll and drove back to Cyraxx's house with his girlfriend in the car. This time, the bedbug's crotch goblin showed up, which caused Alex and Cyraxx to start yelling like a bunch of fucking apes. As Cyraxx and Alex started yelling at each other, Ed, Sally, and Alex's girlfriend tried to calm everyone down, which didn't even work. After Cyraxx insulted Alex's girlfriend because the goblin is too retarded to realize that he provoked a fight, making it kind of his fault, Alex missed the first punch. Cyraxx, being a fuckwit, said you missed, and then gets the shit beaten out of him and knocked out. He probably punched Ed as well. After this fight, Alex and his girlfriend quickly hopped in their car and booked it, while Ed called 911. Cyraxx got his new head wound with a red mark, but it's up in the air if he scratched a scab off or it's from the fight. I really don't fucking know. Everyone agreed that it was satisfying that Cyraxx got the shit beat out of him, but at the same time, people didn't like and bullied Alex for getting another assault felony, just for attention. Marty's fight in the 2023 arrest was started with Cyraxx throwing the first punch and him leaving his property, making him the aggressor in the fight. Since Alex threw the first punch, he was the aggressor under the law, and since he was on probation for a previous assault charge, this just added to his record. On May 24, 2025, Alex was arrested for domestic violence and aggravated menacing for attempting to attack his father with a fucking kitchen knife. The charges that are listed was probably in consideration for sentencing Alex, but none of the charges match up anything that happened in the fight between him and Cyraxx. There is a charge from February 23, 2025 that proves that he is a felon who assaulted before, listing out the charges as assault, disorderly conduct, and resisting arrest. This was way before the Cyraxx stuff, but it proves that he has a history of violence, so kind of proving in a way that he did try to attack his dad. After all of this, Cyraxx continues to taunt Alex to this day because he's a little bitch who can't learn to shut the fuck up and not invoke fights with strangers online. He claims that the fight left him nerve damage from the punch and has knee injuries from hitting the porch. He attempted to get money by telling these lies. He also claimed he damaged a minivan at the house after Alex made a dent in it. Cyraxx is overtly happy that the trolls also hated Alex, but also can be punished by the law for their actions for messing with him. Cyraxx started making up his own charges. One of the more notable ones is that he wanted 3 counts of trespassing for each member of the household. This just shows the 4D chess he's playing while we're all playing checkers. And because Rumble hates me to the point where I'm getting pissed off at Rumble itself, the 911 call of the second visit was leaked, providing a new point of view for the incident. You can hear Cyraxx complain to Sally about getting his ass beat, crying that he can't get up and that he's too hurt to get up. And I thought I was a pussy for taking 2 days off of work because I was sick. I wish I could show you the 911 call, but I can't because Rumble doesn't allow videos to be downloaded off their site. For fuck's sake, it's worse than YouTube. In the early mornings of June 20th, 2025, at around 3 a.m., Cyraxx was doing some karaoke on a live stream. As the session nearly ended, Sally entered his room and asked Cyraxx to lower his volume due to it being 3 fucking a.m. Cyraxx left the frame and reportedly went to explain his refusal to stop the stream despite it being witching hour. Although his way of explaining things usually involved threats of violence and acting upon violence in person. Shortly after him probably beating his grandmother, Ed intervened in a at least annoyed state, causing Cyraxx to turn hostile or even more hostile, resulting in more yelling, throwing objects, and threats of both sides. Throughout the whole fight, it could be heard Sally trying to calm down the situation. Viewers of the live stream, alarmed about the more violent behaviors on display, began contacting APS, or Adult Protective Services, resulting in law enforcement to the house with them finding the fight that was happening. Sally should be arrested for this, but decided to lie to the police to cover for Cyraxx, pissing off so many people, including Dale Lane, which is Cyraxx's aunt. Dale went and drove to the house the next day to check up on Sally and contact APS herself. When Cyraxx heard of this, he threw a fit and threatened to disown and to fight her. And then out of nowhere, he claimed that Dale was trying to get rid of him so she can get all the inheritance all to herself. And here we are, modern day, what is active to this day. There are two main things that have been happening. One of them is a rip-off Pokemon game called Shadowkai, which everything is AI generated, which isn't even good to begin with. The other saga, as the people who follow Cyraxx call it, is the John Saga. We'll cover John first, because it has the most material to cover. John, also known as Morbid Curiosity, which is his main channel, is a YouTuber and major troll in the Cyraxx community. Morbid Curiosity usually covers true crime style content, while his John channel, however, covers lighthearted internet drama, just like me. Starting in October of 2025, he quickly established himself as a major troll, hosting panels to mock and piss off Cyraxx. Most people in the Cyraxx community see John as a spiritual successor of Marty due to his knack of getting Cyraxx pissed off on live streams, just like how Marty was able to do it. John's style of trolling is also very similar as well to Marty, using insane stories to freak out Cyraxx. He is, however, not one to deal with Cyraxx's bullshit rambling and keeps Cyraxx's ability to speak shorter than in Marty's old streams. John's style of trolling is less subtle by mimicking Cyraxx's demeanor and antics to anger the bedbug crotch goblin. John first covered Cyraxx in early June of 2025, where he made a set of videos talking about specific parts of Cyraxx's life, such as his music or e-racing. For a while, it didn't go anywhere until the Shadowkai Saga happened, where he worked with William Gloryhole to steal Cyraxx's shitty AI-generated Pokemon clone and claimed that he was the sole owner of it. You know, the true and honest owner of this whole Shadowkai thing. Cyraxx responded to this on September 17, 2025, trying to imitate John with his made-up fame that Cyraxx delusionally claims that he has.
When you see this face, gifted probably isn't the first thing that comes to mind. Actually, there's a lot of things that don't come to mind when you think of Cyraxx, and I'd be willing to bet that Rockstar isn't one of them either. But you see, to Cyraxx, he is that, and much more. By a large stretch, Cyraxx is one of the most delusional people that the internet has ever had the joy of putting on a circus pedestal, and that's what I want to talk about. By all definitions, Cyraxx is a really, really disturbing individual. He's been caught in multiple stings where he's proven himself to be a danger to children. He's violently attacked his grandmother. The men in his family have a history of being sexual degenerates and rapists. And that's just a summary. But to top off said summary,
I demand payment now!
Enough said.
What triggers Cyraxx the most is the fact that John's main channel has around 260,000 subscribers. With this, Cyraxx claims that the YouTube Silver Play button John has is a fake. The YouTube Silver Play button is a reward you get when you reach 100,000 subscribers, which, fun fact, Cyraxx has a fake YouTube Play button that was mailed to him by a troll, so that's pretty fun to know. Cyraxx's argument is that John used sub-bots to get his subscribers and that his quote algorithm not matching up, which is what he probably did himself. Things became worse from here, where Cyraxx became more and more obsessed with John, which John started to poke Cyraxx more and more frequently. It was to the point where Cyraxx believed that John and Marty were brothers. Like, what? I'm going to show a photo between the two so you can see for yourself. But whoever made Cyraxx believe that this is true is a really good troll, or Cyraxx made himself on his own with his own delusional brain. I don't know right now.
You are the
obsessed with me. You are obsessed with me. When a log is obsessed on and you need some takis, oh, I'll go. You just remember when the Mexican said, "Team, you are obsessed with me."
John played into the bit and claimed that he was Marty's brother-in-law, married to Marty's sister, and that him trolling Cyraxx is revenge for his brother's death. It was murder, Glam. Don't look into it. I gotta point this out right now. I am ethnically Jewish, so technically I'm, quote, allowed to make these jokes. So, haha. To get back on track, Cyraxx continues to mock Marty's death to this day, and I hope someone does the same to him when Sally dies. For years, and I mean years, Cyraxx kept threatening his trolls with legal action for what he thinks is federally illegal activities in an attempt to scare trolls away as much as possible, which never actually worked. John used this to advantage and started to capitalize on it like the good little capitalist he is. John, alongside William Gloryhole and Southern Harlot, convinced that he'd be able to take the trolls to court and have the trolls imprisoned for decades. This was one of the best and most impactful trolls done on Cyraxx since the passing of Marty, giving the community the best freakouts ever seen. John has also done many other trolls that weren't as impactful as the Court Saga. One of these small trolls is that he sold Cyraxx's house for about 150 USD, which is probably more money than Cyraxx has made in his entire life, and he also sold it for a new box of ice bullets. John streamed himself dressed up as an Arab man, complete with the kayfa, which I can only have a photo of because nothing would download the video. He dressed up like this while making, quote, friendship sticks that he would ship to Cyraxx's house. This was capitalizing on someone allegedly torching Sally's car and the fact another troll sent out another kill switch that he plugged into his Xbox because Cyraxx is a complete special needs kid. This kill switch caused a temporary power outage in his house, causing Cyraxx to think an IED failed to detonate in his house. On Halloween of 2025, John dressed up as Marty and trolled the bedbug crotch goblin in remembrance of Marty himself.
Yeah, you know, it's been a pretty good day. So, that'll get the falafel going. I don't fucking know, dude. What's up, y'all? Happy Halloween!
And to finalize things off, John's live streams have mirrored Marty live streams, having Cyraxx rage out, but thankfully, Cyraxx didn't have his bedbug-ridden dick out on streams for the channel to get banned. On September 14th, 2025, while talking shit about William Gloryhole, Cyraxx bragged about his new animated series that he said would be bigger than Pokemon, Digimon, Yu-Gi-Oh!, and Power Rangers combined. He claims that it was a 12-year-old project, just like the age of girls he likes. He said that the project, after being in 12 years of development hell, was recently picked up, according to him, but he's never talked about it ever in his life since those few days. The project is supposed to be an animated series called Shadowkai, which is where the name of this saga comes from. The base that began this whole thing is a drawing of a crude sketch of a ball-shaped creature with flames around it, which Cyraxx made out of boredom, even though the image originates from Heather's Case Facebook account, which is a great way to see the bottomless pit that is Cyraxx's creativity. You might say, oh, she could have stolen the art from Cyraxx, and to that I say this is what Cyraxx's actual art looks like when it isn't traced.
Oh my god, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
I honestly don't know what I'm looking at in this photo. Like, what the fuck is this? With everything that Cyraxx make that is seen as quote-unquote creative, William Gloryhole comes in and claims that he is the owner and sole owner of the creative piece that was made. This was according to plan because if you haven't noticed throughout this whole video, this always makes Cyraxx start to baby rage about his plagiarized and or AI content being stolen from him. With John and William Gloryhole, they were able to make Cyraxx rage just like the good old times with him and Marty. On September 17th, 2025, Cyraxx announced in a video about Shadowkai was being picked up by a multinational production company, which he hid the name to protect the company from the trolls. He immediately expected a franchise and a toy line for this AI slop, and he started celebrating his victory over the trolls and boasted about the collection of cars he would get with his first paycheck. This, however, reminded me of the Bender Boys record deal Cyraxx got, which started all of this. This fall for a blatant troll on Cyraxx came on September 24th, 2025, where Cyraxx received a letter from Nintendo of America, which is probably a troll posing as Nintendo, but knowing Nintendo nowadays, Cyraxx might have actually gotten a letter from them. In this video, he says that William Gloryhole and John are the ones in trouble despite the fact he is the actual owner of Shadowkai, even if some random people on the internet claim that it's theirs. So yes, Cyraxx, the letter is for you. What's funny is that he thinks he could have the letter dusted for fingerprints even though he's touching it with his bare hands. He also thinks that pretending to be an employee of Nintendo is a federal crime and could be punished by imprisonment, despite the fact it's not even illegal to do that. Legally speaking, according to the Cyraxx Wiki, impersonating the employee of a company is only a crime when it has ill intent, like committing fraud, scamming, or for monetary gain. Pretending to be someone as a prank wouldn't even make it to court to begin with. Hell, even in my home country, Moldova, doing it as a prank isn't illegal, but doing deepfakes without consent and stealing private information is illegal, so technically speaking I could get away with it. This is under Moldova's Privacy Act, Law Number 195, 2024. Cyraxx figured out that it was a fake because it came from Miami instead of Raymond, Washington, where Nintendo's headquarters is located. But because Nintendo of headquarters only has one location in all of America, it would be labeled as Raymond, Washington. What Cyraxx didn't know is that the letter would be signed as Nintendo of America, not Nintendo of the United States, which it was in the letter. So that is Cyraxx. To say the least, this is one of my biggest videos yet, and rightfully so. I had to do everything by myself with no help whatsoever. I was glad I was able to get this out sooner than later so you guys have something to watch while I go make a video on some rare obscure person that's known for doing gross ass shit like Cyraxx. I apologize for not being able to download the Rumble videos for this video. I did try my hardest to get what I can. All my sources will be down in the description, and feel free to comment anything I got wrong. I need pointers, and I do need the corrections to begin with. I was planning to make this a bigger video, but if people want a part 2 to this video, I have that written up and is able to record if you guys want. If people big enough, I might make a segment of me drinking sludge for the beginning of that video. I tried, and I mean I really tried to make this timeline as much as I could. I know some parts jump around, but I tried my hardest to make some sorts of sense to it all. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I promise the next few videos will be on schedule. This has been Plushie signing off. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.
1, 2, 3, 14.
Niggas Coley though, Copson got the Jemmy though. Got the Jackie though, Jenny is a tranny though.
Can you put some on something over here real quick?
Cobb Gang!